the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, good evening, race fans. Man, I tell you what, the next 2 weeks we're going to be out west here. We got Auto Club tonight, Las Vegas next week, but we got the Ford Entertainment Group Sim500 Xfinity Series here, and they're about to tackle this track here tonight. Qualifying's winding down, folks. All right, Auto Club, and it looks like we're about to grid these guys up. Alex, man, I tell you what, these Sim500 guys, last week did an outstanding job at the track we was at. This week, they got a really, really good track here tonight. Auto Club, which tends to kind of bring caution-free style races, but then again, you never know because it is a pretty good track.
Yeah, this is this is always a neat race to watch here at this track. I mean, it's a 2-mile D shape oval, whatever you want to call it. D shape oval is what we'll call it. So I'm excited to see how these guys are going because, like you said, they've been running some great races, and so keep the momentum going here. Definitely, as the season is starting to get into its stride here for the Sim500 series here with the Ford Entertainment Group.
something up here you can look at. There you go. Forgot about that. But I tell you what, gridding it up, they look good on the starting line. These Xfinity guys here, the Xfinity cars, we've talked about it time and time again here, Alex, about the differences between these and the trucks. Again, this is a 1.5 mile track, very fast style track too. And being here, the Cup cars normally would have that high downforce package. These guys don't really have that in the Xfinity cars. Now, again, their horsepower is about the same as what the Cup car would be, but they don't have that huge spoiler and all that downforce that the Cup car has. So we'll have to see how these guys modulate this track here tonight and get around.
Yeah, and I'm expecting here longer green flag runs, kind of like what you were saying, Joe, and some pretty much single filing it out and having those battles going on here and there throughout the race, you know. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here this evening. I mean, it's they're a very competitive league here. These guys are awesome. Very strong league here, so these guys should make mincemeat of this track, if you ask me.
Well, and they are, and I've been with the Sim500 fortunate enough for the last several years now, and guys here, Joey Catini, allowing me to do that and getting, you know, been able to come here and bring on the sleeve. So a lot of these drivers I know quite well, and they always bring out a huge field. We got 35 cars. There's based cars in. We're going green flag racing here tonight, Auto Club style. Daniel Falkenham's going to lead them to the line. Green flags in the air. Listen to these boys roar off into turn one.
Yeah, and this is kind of how we'll see the restarts pretty much with these two stacks. I don't think it'll take them very long to get to that single file type racing, but with how competitive is, you got guys already moving all over the place trying to throw up some blocks. You're going 3 wide coming in here into turn 3 and 4 right here. So I'm expecting that middle groove to work pretty well here at this track this evening. So, but like these guys are super competitive again. So, like you said, you got David Falkenham up front, who was very strong in his race last week. So, very stacked group here this evening throughout the entirety of this field. I mean, you got 35 cars, that are just amazing. And these guys do a great job in their level of competitiveness and how clean they race. So, it should be a pretty nice race here this evening.
And, you know, just to get off what you just said right there, the reason we're seeing a lot of 2x2 racing right now, a lot of guys being very aggressive, is because tires here, you mentioned it, it will become more of a single file race if it goes long green flag runs. But usually in real life, you see this at a track like Auto Club and Las Vegas because they kind of mimic each other. You've got to get what you can get early on because it's really hard to pass as it goes. You're not really going to see anybody come through the field unless somebody does like an off-pit cycle and has way newer tires than anybody. But as long as everybody stays kind of equal on the same amount of tires or equal tread out there, you're not going to see one person just come flying through the fields. Yellow flag's out. Not quite sure what it's on. Back in the back here. Oh, Jeff Ryan, it looks like. Let's go in the replay and let's say Jeff Ryan and James, I hope I say his name right, Sumbik. If you say it real quick, it might sound like something else, but I don't do that to him. But we'll see what happened on Jeff Ryan right here. Real easy to get tight here on this track and to get up into that wall. And what was I just said, get in the wall? Guess what? That's what happened. Come out of the turn, got tight, got up in the wall. The one machine's nowhere to go. Randy Yoakum. Well, I tell you what, man, he's having a bad night. And remember when I told you Randy Yoakum and Tommy Ryan? This is where I know Randy Yoakum and Tommy Ryan. So, remember them two names we was talking about the other night there, Alex? Two guys, that's where they're from here. Tommy's up to 14. But unfortunately, Randy Yoakum involved in that one with Jeff Ryan and under caution for the first time. So, real quick here, track. The restarts are going to be treacherous, like you said. If it gets a long green flag run, they're going to spread out. This track can get very tight coming out of the turns. We saw it right there. You can easily get up there into the wall before you know it.
Yeah, and usually, just like you were saying, Joe, yes, I do remember you bringing up those two guys before. So, but yeah, that's kind of how these mile and a half ish track goes. I know this is a 2 mile track, so that's usually how these mile and a halves go. And I guess, well, yeah, 2 mile because this one's 2 miles. I just repeat myself, but usually the restart is where you want to get as much as you can because everyone's tires are going to even out, and then it's going to be a little bit more difficult coming up through the field. And that's usually where we'll differentiate between our long run cars and our short run cars, because there's you're on either side in the field. And so that's what you mean by making the aggressive moves and all that jazz in the restarts and at the beginning of those. So, but I want to go quick into the little track facts. I always like doing that real quick. So, right. Auto Club, definitely in Fontana, California. If
before you do that, I made a mistake and said 1.5 mile. My bad. You're right. It's a 2 mile track.
It is quite all right, Joe, and that's what these facts are for. So here we go. The 2 mile oval, D-shaped oval, Fontana, California. It's a little outside of Los Angeles. I've been there personally twice. Bankings in the turns run out to about 14 degrees. Front stretch is 11 degrees. Back stretch comes out to 3-degree banking. So, little fun facts about the track right there. Give you a little bit of a layout so you guys can keep up to par what you're doing. As you get this nice little view of this front stretch right here. It's got a little bit of a bank to it. So there we go. As they're about to go off into, well, it looks to be this last lap under caution, because it looks like the lights are off and they're stacking up. So should be going back green here this next go around.
Absolutely, and normally this track doesn't have too much, but this is more or less a mimic of what Michigan would be, and being a 2 mile track. Now next week Las Vegas is more of a 1.5 mile track. I kind of got them confused, but still, this track is more mimicked to what get in. But we've talked about it a couple times. Tracks being kind of deceitful in how they look. Some look bigger than others, but yet they're the same size. This track does not look, I mean, I know it is, and it probably is if you look at an overhead shot, but to me from here, it just does not look as big as Michigan for some reason. Always said that. Just maybe the appearance of it. Maybe it's because it's maybe not as wide. I don't know. As we have to get into some other things on it, but as we're getting set to go back green, I've always kind of mentioned, but it does drive almost like what Michigan does. You're going to see them come out of turn 4. They'll push straight up the track. Going down the long front straightaway, you'll get a little, you can very easily tight or loose coming out of all that on this little mishap here. E.J. O'Rourke, man, out front, pace cars in. Here we go. Green flag's about to fly. Daniel Falkenham up there again. Remember, these guys are going to try to get what they could get, because once those tires start falling off, it's going to be very hard to pass at a track like this.
Yeah, and with us, obviously up here in the booth, we obviously don't know exactly what's going to happen. We can always guess and all that jazz. But
it's
usually,
crystal ball out there, Alex.
Yeah. So going with the kind of how we both know the track. Usually, this is a long green flag run track. So you'll see everyone. As you got some guys already still doubled up right here, trying to make any positions that they can right off this restart like we were talking about earlier. But you'll see once the tire fall off happens and everyone pretty much evens out, if we get to the point where there's green flag pit stops, because like I said, we don't know what's going to happen. There could be another caution in 15, 20 laps. Who knows? 10 laps, 2 laps, this lap. Who knows? But going with that, you'll see a noticeable difference in those fresh tires. And those fresh tires can pay dividends, and depending on how you conduct yourself with your pit strategy here in this race and trying to make moves here in the pit road game. to progress yourself into a more competitive position up there and say the top 10, top 5 or so.
You already see now that we've got a little bit of a green flag. You already see them starting to try to fan out a single file. Start to see what'll happen though is, even though they're single file, they'll be right there nose to tail. You guy maybe make a pass, one or two here, pick them off one by one. That's how you do a lot. It looks like Doey Woods off track in the back here. See what's happening to him as a yellow flag is out. Back here and see Doey Woods went off track.
Yeah, he was involved in that little mishap earlier as well, if I recall correctly.
What happened to him right here? One in that the Valvoline or Haviland machine right here. Yep. Then he went off track. Here's the reason caution is, man, it just. Then I'm gonna tell you what, James just not he wants theirs. Wow, but I don't know what happened to Doey there. Just that car just came out from under him.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. See, that's why I thought he was the one you're talking about right there in the number one, really quick. So, misinterpretation on my part, but it's all good. We're on the same page now. But no, I'm not quite sure what. It didn't look like he got nudged or nothing down there. So, that's what was piquing that little curiosity bug in my brain a little bit, because it looks like he might have just somehow just lost it a little bit.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't see that happen in that spot of the track, you know?
No, I don't either. Well, we're under caution. We don't get to do a lot of it, but I'm going to bring up. Guys, the good thing about riding here, well, actually. Get moving, yo. But anyways, I'll talk about EJ. How's that? EJ O'Rourke has been a long-time veteran, which most of these guys are long-time veterans in the Sim500 League. EJ, he is a past truck champion here at the Sim500 here tonight for our Ford Entertainment Group. And definitely give a shout out to Ford Entertainment Group. Old Jeffrey Ford out there. And folks, if you're looking for a great PC, he specializes mostly in sim racing PCs, but he can build you pretty much anything you want. He builds phenomenal style, almost high-end style, PC, whatnot. But it can also give you get you a lot of sim gear that you're looking for. Check them out, Ford Entertainment Group there, FEG, tonight title sponsor. But EJ O'Rourke, one of the longtime veterans here of the Sim500 amongst a lot of them, and past champion in himself. But sometimes he's had some up and down races. You know, some of them not went quite his way, and some have. So. Hoping right now that this race so far goes his way. Thing maybe, I don't know, works out for the best.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been holding it down up front. I mean, he's got Falkingham right there, who's been running with him pretty much the entire time, who saw him up front a good amount last week. And so these guys, like I keep saying, these guys are super competitive, very I don't want to say everyone is even in here, but the level of competitiveness makes it seem so. Because obviously, like, the first race of the season at Daytona or whatnot, you were reading me some of those ratings that these guys have, and they are just astoundingly high. So these guys do a great job again, and it's super competitive, and we'll see how he gets it done up there up front in that nice looking 41 machine right there with that 39 of Falkingham right there, right behind him, licking at his chops.
Well, Daniel Falkingham's another one you got to watch out for. Very, very fast. But this place here, this is another thing. I think it can come down, if we get some flag runs, it could come down very much to a pit strategy style race. And we've seen that in real life a lot of times, because I think track position here might trump tires at the end of the way. I've seen a lot of guys take two tires at the end, and if they can hold those guys off behind them long enough, it's just so hard to pass here. Everybody's so even that those two tires work out just great.
Yeah, sometimes that's just how it rolls. Like I said, you never know what's gonna happen throughout the race. But anyways, these
That word you like using?
the chess match.
That's chess match. There you go. We get set to go green. It's been a good one. OEJ out front, Daniel Falkenham right there. Mike Kelly's another one. Ryan Howard, I can sit here and talk about a lot of these guys here at Sim500, know them quite well. Eric Arnold there, David Comstock, Tommy Ryan, Anthony Calatoni, Ralph Vandervorst, and Jose Gonzalez rounds the top 10. Pace cars in, green flags about to fly. We're back racing here at Auto Club.
Yeah, and as it looks like, EJ gets a nice little jump there off of that restart, and that's kind of what he wants. He kind of wants to be up front and get that clean air, because these kind of races and whatnot, racing up front is typically at these style tracks, being up front makes things a little bit easier on your car and racing that clean air and whatnot. So, but these, as you look at this nice Kit Kat machine, got a little chocolate, saving it for later on the hood right there.
Yeah, he's running a high lane right there a little bit too. It might pay off for him if it stays a little green flag battle going on between those. That's Ryan Howard. You can take it 3 wide here and be pretty safe at this track. It's wide enough. You got Eric Arnold there, David Comstock, Anthony Calatoni in the mix along with him, and Mike Kelly. So a little 2x2 battle, but the EJ is loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror here.
Yeah, he is, and usually that's what you like to see as the leader, is those guys bailing out behind you, so you could just stretch out that lead a little bit more and more and more, and periodically as it go through the laps here. But that's kind of what I was expecting, maybe some more of that middle lane kind of running, especially when it single files out a little bit. I mean, I don't know, everyone has their preference, but from a lot of what I see, I usually see middle-ish groove here at this racetrack. So that's kind of what we're seeing a little bit now with the leaders, as you're looking through, as they're kind of starting in the middle and then they're kind of diving down, and I guess what you want to call the apex of the turn right there. And now they're got some nice guys are knocking on EJ's door up front, so these guys are just coming chuggies. You get a nice view of pretty much the entire field right there, racing hard here at Auto Club Speedway.
Everybody's kind of in a bunch right now, and they will be for a while to get spread out as the run goes on. A good battle up front here. Now, this place being 2 miles, some guys also chalk it up as maybe a mini-style plate track, because you're about wide open a lot of it for the, a lot of the turns and a lot of the run here. So we'll have to see. I know with the Cup car, you can stay side by side for quite a while, maybe with the trucks, because of that downforce package. With these cars, you can get split up just a little bit. Still, EJ out front, battle for second. Daniel Falkenham's on the outside. Mike Kelly's right there with him, though. Those two guys are going to take it door to door out of the turn. And Eric Arnold, David Comstock, man, is going to side by side.
Yeah, and that's what we're kind of expecting to see here, is those battles going on here and there. But these battles are going on for pretty much from 5th spot right here to second. So you got a nice battle going on for second and 4th, or second, whatever you want to call it. But I think that's kind of why this track to you resembles Michigan a little bit, because Michigan also, if I'm not mistaken, is a 2-mile track.
Yeah, it is, yep.
But they still consider it one of the like super speedway kind of races. But it races kind of like this, just because it's a larger track is why they kind of do that. Is you got 3 wide right there coming through the corner, and then now it's back down to 2. But that's probably why I'm guessing it resembles Michigan to you, Joe, is because a lot of the race in Michigan, like you were saying about here, you race a lot of it just all out pretty much. You're just
well, the layout, the way you run this track, you'll see it as they go on. And right now, the tires are really fresh and ready to pretty much do what they want to do for the time being. As the run goes on, you'll see. But at Michigan, going through the turns, you'll see that they'll go like one groove up. There's kind of like a black line right there that you'll be able to up on us. But right there, you'll see there's a line going in, but you can see them coming through that turn 4. They kind of go way up the track. Same thing with Michigan. They kind of like way fan up the track there. And, you know, I don't know. These two tracks are, and I guess when they built this track, it's supposed to, you know, the history it's about, or the future of this track.
Pull up a quick little thing about Michigan, too, to give you a quick little comparison here, Joe. So Michigan also is 2 miles around. It's also a D-shaped oval. The only difference really is the degree of banking in the turns. And the degree of banking in the turns here is 14 degrees. And along the front stretch, it is 11 degrees, or the start-finish line, I guess you could say. But at Michigan, it is 18-degree gradient for the turns and 12 degrees on the front and 5 degrees on the back, where here at Auto Club it's only 3. So definitely understand the similarity here for you, and I'm right there with you, man. But like you were saying about the future of this track is this track is about to be under construction pretty much. Let me see if I can get down to that part real quick. So these guys are looking to make this track pretty much a mixture of Martinsville and Bristol, as we are having some technical difficulties right now, but I will continue on with that.
I'm looking at iRacing right now. Might try to log out of the server and come back. Give me just a second here. No, Alex. I'll try to log back out of here and log back into the server. Keep us updated with some tech.
Yeah, and so I'll just keep chugging on with that reconstruction that they're planning on having right now. So Auto Club Speedway, obviously, the track that we're at right now, everyone pretty much knows it as that 2-mile D-shaped oval like we've been talking about this whole time. But their planned reconstruction for it, which has been, I believe it's been passed after the articles I've seen about it, after the news I've read about, all that jazz, right? So they plan on making it another short track. So it's going to be a half-mile track with long straightaways like Martinsville and high banking turns like those at Bristol. So they're kind of combining the two. Maybe it could make some very exciting racing, because obviously, if, as everybody knows, two completely different tracks. Martinsville's like got those long straightaways and those kind of hairpin like 180 turns. So, but Bristol obviously has got shorter straightaways and those higher banking, longer turns. So maybe combining the two could provide some very intense and exciting racing here, adding another short track to the circuit. And they're looking to finish it in time for the 2022 season for all those. So they're planning on starting it after this year's race at Auto Club. So that's a pretty quick turnaround if you ask me. So
absolutely.
Oh, excuse me for a moment. Let me just correct myself right there. It says in December of last year, it was announced that the 2021 race weekend at Auto Club has been canceled due to complications surrounding, obviously, the pandemic going around and all that jazz, which is still a major factor here. And so reconstruction was postponed to 2023 so that the next year's race in the season of 2022 can still be held on this surface at the 2-mile D-shaped oval. So that being said, we won't see that new and improved half-mile addition to the circuit here for another couple of years. So we got good old Auto Club for a little bit longer here, people.
All right, looks like we might be pretty good here back. So Good deal. I was just testing there. I went and logged back in here to the server, so we'll have to see, make sure we're all right. Right now, still everybody's kind of single file. Everything, man, is looking good so far. Still EJ O'Rourke out front. These guys still battling there about second place.
Yeah, it's as if we didn't even have that little hiccup there, but these guys are still battling hard here for that second place spot. As you got these guys, like we've been saying, battling out for that second place spot. As you get this nice view right here of the field coming off of turn 2 along this long backstretch right here, and EJ's just kind of sitting up there, and he hasn't really gotten that big of a lead yet, but who knows what's going to happen. These guys keep battling it out. He may be able to stretch it a little bit more, but these guys are doing a great job of not letting him take it away. So,
like they're still fanning out there. You still got Eric Arnold and company up there with David Comstock right behind him. Tommy Ryan's up there too. Going back, Jose Gonzalez, I call him Speedy out there. Boy, his first race wasn't one that he liked, but right now he's having a pretty good run up to 7th. Mike Kelly, though's the one who's dropped off the pace. He was up front there for a while, back in 8th place along with Anthony Calatoni, and this is what you'll see. Guys that are better at the long run and guys that are better at the short run. You'll start seeing the ones that are better long run maybe start slowly but surely coming through the field, because here's where you just start picking guys off one by one. You kind of got to go back here for Jimmy Coleman and Chris Boo, Mike Maltesi and company back here, and Timothy Johnson. All these guys are still maybe doubled up, double file racing. Oh, run him up the track some right there, Mike Maltesi. Oh boy, you can just see right there, he got kind of tight. Alex, that's just how it can work here at this track.
yeah, that's kind of some like you said, sometimes that's what you're going to see here at these racetracks, and you saw it there as it was happening, so we caught it going on, and I thought for a second he maybe was throwing something on him, trying to keep his position, but I guess that was not the exact case that I thought it was, so thanks for saving my hiney right there, Joe.
Well, in this track, and again, you'll hear me reference Michigan coming out of that turn 4. A lot of times going on these cars, they just tend to kind of just slide up the track and it drifts up side by side. You got to really watch it, because next thing you know, boom, you're gonna have a guy right beside of it. Don Runkle Jr., all these guys back here, 28, Shane Ewing. Hi, Mom, how you doing? And Shane is... quick little history lesson on Shane Ewing. Actually, it's Kevin Brown, my bad. I was going to get into it here in a second, but, Shane Ewing, I mentioned about his last name and his mom. Always watching, so you always got to wave out there. Hi, Mom, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the car. But... out there running a Three Musketeers, that kind of brought me up to Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown used to run in the series here the Twinkie Mobile, a Twinkie car, and I always used to love it, man, because it looked cool. I mean, it was a big Twinkie, and I like Twinkies. Okay, all right, look, I'm like a big marshmallow guy, man. I like Twinkies. All right, I'll admit it.
What's wrong with liking Twinkies? I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I love him, man. I tell you what, it's a good one. Josh Parker. Bro, Josh Parker there, man. Parker had an outstanding run. He's back in about 11. And that's what I'm saying. Look at the lap times. The lap times, I mean, aside from EJ, the top 3, actually, what's not that bad, because you got EJ running a 43.92. You go all the way back through all the way back to 29th, 30th. It's a 44.28. Alex, that's only 4, maybe 3, 4 tenths difference separating the field. One, what that tells you is, again, you're not going to see anybody come blazing through the field just that time, because we've talked about that in the past. But that tells you just how close it is and how consistent it is on this track, and just how much track position is important. And you talk about a guy like Josh Parker. he's kind of stuck. Yeah, he might pick some guys off one by one as the run goes on, but by the time he gets there, the end of that run, it's going to be pit stop time again. And guess what? Everybody's going to be back on equal tires, unless he just gets some, help. That's what I'm saying. I think by the end of this race, I see some guys do some crazy pit stop stuff if it goes green flag, And if a caution flies, maybe late in the race, let's say with about 80 to go or something, and we've had a long green flag run, you might see some guys come out and do a two-tire stop just to get that advantage and get the track position.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And I was thinking it was a little too early to be talking about the my patented chess matches. I got the hiccups because I'm getting excited now because I want to talk about it. But talk about that chess match as
new leader
Daniel Falkingham takes the lead from EJ. But he does have... So, quick question for you, actually. Who, in this series, are you locked in to the final, like the playoffs or the chase, whatever you want to call it, if you win a race?
They did that one time here where, yes, you win, you're in. They changed their rules a lot. I would have to go and read the rules for what they did this season, whether they're in and you're in. And I apologize, folks, for not knowing that right off the bat, but definitely go to sim500.com, folks. You can, just like I could. But they change it every year. So to answer that question, that's why I don't really know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. We'll find out before the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see what I can get going on right now. I'll actually just pull up the website right here.
It should be under the, if you go under the series. No, under series. You're gonna actually have to. It'd be under the series. I mean, it might be under the rules, and it might be a thing. And if once, hey Joey, if anybody out there watching, let us know, because I know they changed that throughout series. Sometimes different ones. They might say it here in the series. Sunday night drivers who qualify for round of 8 be eligible for the new. Here's just a little update, folks, to kind of tell you. Obviously, we're in the Ford Entertainment Group. They always have 3 sets of tires, 2 pits, so they start with 1. Fuel is 100%, so fuel usually does not become an issue with this league. We've talked about that before. It's usually tire wear that becomes the biggest. When we see pit stops here tonight, it's going to be for tire sake of it, not pretty much the fuel. Always a fixed setup. Now, as far as the first 43, paid drivers are definitely locked in. Ford Entertainment Group, PC, they definitely are the man here. They are giving out $3,500 PC of this event, so that'll be awesome there. Prizes: drivers who qualify for the round of 8 will be eligible for the new custom. All 8 drivers will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win. The final 4 drivers will receive a trophy. All broadcasts are going to be there. That's pretty much about all the info they're kind of giving us as far as, getting here. Doesn't really say who's locked in or if you win, you're in. So again, maybe if somebody out there in the league is watching, chime in on the chat real quick. Let me know. I know they changed that. Sometimes they make a rule to begin their season. Good racing out here, but nonetheless, hey, Up for Grabs is a great PC for Ford Entertainment. I always love that 3 sets of tire rule that they have here. Because, 1, competitive, Alex, and 2, it makes it really to where you can see. But it makes it also very competitive out here. You don't know who's going to win. It's a good battle back here for 9th, 10th, and so forth.
Yeah, so I'm looking here on the website. I'm not getting too much
Well, they change it, and I
info.
think that's why they do.
Yeah.
I think they change it from season to season. I think they take polls and votes on what these guys want to do. They have a good admin community here. Joey Katina does an outstanding job with the guys he has. And speaking of Josh Parker, remember, was back there in 11th, is up to 7th, so he's loving this long green flag run. He's picking them off one by one. He's right there. Got to be patient. We talked about the patience right there because, man, you see he's a lot faster, but definitely can get himself in trouble if he doesn't watch it. He's trying to work on the back end there. Looks like lap car Mike Kelly, who that is. Mike Kelly probably has went in and made a pit stop. Now he's in the back of there. The 5th place car of Eric Arnold. Looks like he's going to try to take that 5th place space away. He's got Kevin Brown right behind him.
Yeah, and coming up, that's why I asked about the win and in thing, because I know Josh Parker winning last week at Homestead. So that's kind of what piqued that question for me. So,
Sure.
But obviously we'll have to get in touch with the admins a little bit to get a little bit more insight for those of you tuning in to watch, and we'll be able to provide you guys with a little bit more of a intelligent answer on that instead of just fumbling around like this.
We'll get Alex on the investigative reporting out there. He's doing that stuff.
Yeah, I'll get in with some of that and definitely have an answer for you coming up here sometime soon. So,
I'll tell you right now, Alex, man, these guys are having a good battle here with Josh Parker, Kevin Brown, Robert Gillenwater right there. That's around about the 7th, 8th place spot. You see Eric Arnold goes up high, not the place you want to be here. Later on, as you see, you can fan out pretty good here. Now you're starting to see, like I said, guys that are very good on the longer run. The problem is that longer run, as far as we talked about pit stops, obviously, yes, if it goes green, they're definitely going past 50 laps, which would be well past halfway. And I would even think, even if we didn't have those cautions earlier, that with the fuel and all, that they definitely could take it probably 55, 60. Probably is the tire limit of this place is what I'm going to think. And, and I know that's going to put it, if it goes green flag, that's going to put us at a two stop variant right there.
Yeah, it is. It's Josh Parker, I'm looking up right now, is making his way up there, and now he's in that 4th place position. And and it looks like Howard's giving Falkingham a nice little battle up here for the lead. But as well as I know at these kind of tracks, because I feel like even though it's a 2-mile track, and it reminds you of Michigan a little bit as he makes the pass right here, I feel like they both are just a little bit larger. 1.5 mile tracks. I mean, obviously 2 miles is a little bit larger than 1.5 mile, but that's kind of the racing that I kind of pair with this track and also Michigan. So,
well, and two, to go back on what we was talking about, the differences in tracks, and you see some battle right here. Josh Parker's eating up the back end of EJ. They're trying to see if they can't run down Daniel Falkenham and Ryan Howard up front. See, Josh is going to peek to the inside. Is he going to be able to take that 3rd place spot? Yes, he does. Scoots on by, takes it away from EJ. Right behind him, a good battle going on. You've got Robert Gillenwater. Tommy Ryan, though, he has already made a pit stop out there in the back. Like Eric Arnold's coming on pit road. So we've got pit stops happening here already in the mix. As you see now, you got Kevin Brown. So I'm going to say within probably the next 10 laps or so, you're going to start seeing a lot of guys come on pit road, get the, fuel and tires. And as long as it goes green, it's going to be a good. Kevin Brown's going to work over EJ. That's actually for the 4th place spot. Robert Gillenwater right there behind him. We're lurking. Let's see what guys do in front of him. And see Kevin's going to be that pass. He's working on him. Faulkingham got up in the wall a little bit there. We were talking about that early on. And Josh Parker was able to get up there as Daniel Faulkingham. If he got damage on the side of that car, Alex, that's going to hurt, because at a track like this, aerodynamics is crucial. They don't have fast fixes here. So, you know, if he's hurt that car, that's going to be very detrimental. Don't pretty clean on the right side. I know he bumped it a little bit. He might have just got a little momentum. This is a momentum style track. You lose it and you lose a lot of spots. Looks like, oh, it says internet went out. All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe Alex gets back up here with us. His internet went out there, folks, and I'm going to tell you what, that just happens. Three wide battle coming out of the turn. Robert Gillenwater right there. Kevin Brown. Daniel Faulkingham is struggling now ever since he bumped that wall. Here comes Erica. On the top side, though, you got Glenn Campbell, though. Oh, man, the Trans Service Cup guy himself up there battling along with them. Eric can just see how much of those new tires are a lot better than a lot of the guys on older tires here. But Daniel Faulkingham bumped that right side, and I believe it's hurt it just a little bit enough. Yeah, he's going to struggle now, so got to have all the fenders on this thing here. And we'll see if old Alex gets jumped back up here in the race. Out front, Ryan Howard. All him and the Kit Kat machine. Give him a break. Right now he wants to win. Josh Parker right there towing along. Josh Parker's been I'm going to say the hard charger here, though. And right now, Josh has got a fast Toyota machine, but we're coming up on green flag stops as you still guys back here. Glenn Campbell, Daniel Faulkingham, David Comstock, Robert Gillenwater, Kevin Brown, all those guys under a blanket. Filing it out pretty quick right here. Looking very good so far. Everybody's kind of just being patient now. No, we should be coming up on our green flag stops. It's lap 49. I'm going to stay within the next 5 or 10 laps or so. They should be. Oh, Joey Katina out there having a good run tonight in 12th place spot. You got the Sim500 machine. Now, Joey loves super style speedways, and they would probably consider this a super track. But he loves big tracks, and so it might fit into his driving style a little bit. Got Chad Coleman right there behind him. So used to seeing old Chad Cole out here too. Well, haven't seen him in a while. Good little battle here with Tim Johnson, Comstock, Jimmy Coleman and company. All these guys still just kind of under a blanket. Riding along a little bit here as we're at Auto Club tonight for the Ford Entertainment Group Sim500. Everybody, man, is having a good Sunday night. How y'all doing out there? Let me know who your favorite driver is. How's it look? How's it sound to you? How's these cars, man? They streaming around this place here. Vroom. Gotta say. Going racing. Matter of fact, who won the Homestead race today? I'm not sure who won that one. Live tonight here at OSR Network on YouTube, Facebook, and also go check out Sim500 over on the Facebook. We've got it over there too for you. Definitely check those guys out there. I know they definitely would appreciate it, as always. The out front, Ryan Howard doing what he needs to do. Maintain. And looks like, okay, that William Byron looks like he won the real race there. So, wow. Okay. Yeah, William Byron and Tyler Reddick. Also, two of the young guys up there winning here there at the in the real NASCAR world. Kyle Larson, if anybody's a Kyle Larson fan, he finished it up. Awesome. Give you a little heads up what's going on in the real world of NASCAR as we're here tonight on the virtual side of NASCAR for the Sim500. Ryan Howard still the man out there in the Kit Kat machine. Josh Parker trying to run him down, just not been able to. Running pretty even. The work right there. Robert Gilliwater, Kevin Brown, all mixed up. Not one of these guys are going to come in for the pits here. Tommy Ryan, Jose, Jeff Ryan, Daniel Falkenham, all in the pit road right now. Looks like EJ's going to try to move it down. I think EJ's coming on pit road. Yep. Pit road, 4 tires of fuel. Here we go. Ryan Howard, our leader on pit road. Bring that Kit Kat machine down and see if he can't do what he can do right now. Josh Parker takes over the top spot. He's going to get a spots in. Again, I had Alex up here. He had some internet problems, folks, so kind of long hauling it up here myself right now. Hope y'all enjoying it and appreciating it. Internet problems, and that's just something we just can't control. It happens. Right now, Timothy Johnson, Lynn Campbell. That trans service machine. All these guys, pit stops. These are green flag stops. Coming on pit road, Joey Catina's there with them. Robert Gilliwater, Glenn Campbell and company is going to leave Josh Parker out there again. Josh is stretching this thing out. How far is Josh willing to go? That's my question. What do y'all think? When y'all think, I think Josh got to come in within the next couple laps here. At least. I wouldn't think he's going to stay out there very long. I don't think so. Either. Josh Parker right now trying to see if he can't come down on EJ goes around him there from him. Johnson's right there with him. Hanging on the second. Chad Coleman is right there holding on to the third place spot. Milt Matisse. Right on the fourth place. Richard Beasley. Another one in the Tide Ride. Up to fifth. All these guys haven't made their pit stops yet. Andy Yoakum got tied up in an early on incident. Back in sixth right there. Steve Herring up to seventh. John Wilco then at 8. Shane Knight and Shannon Woods rounds the top 10. Takes us to Mike Kelly, who pitted on lap 35. A couple guys coming on pit road. But I'll tell you what, Josh Parker. And Josh pitted on lap 10. He probably could stretch this thing, I'm going to say easily to lap 60. Now what this will do is if it goes green flag the rest of the way, it's going to give him a huge advantage tire-wise. Now I say that, but I've also said in the past, excuse me folks, my God, got choked up right there. I've also said in the past that track position is very important at a track like this, and it is. So, even though Josh might have those tire advantage, track position might still be important here because time by going, but why? A lot of time on the track. Oh, you got Chad Coleman, Richard Beasley, Mike Kelly all on the same strategy. Well, Mike Kelly, he actually pitted in at lap 35. You see Eric Arnold right there making the pass. The problem with Josh Parker here is, though, is Eric Arnold is only 28 seconds back. Josh is going to be marred back in traffic. Now, what would mess this strategy up is obviously a caution later on in the race. It's going to have to go green flag here, and pretty much he's committed at this moment. Parker is. And to give you an idea of lap times, Parker ran a 44.66. Guys with the newest tires are running 42.60, all over almost like 2 seconds or more. A lap difference. Parker's definitely given up a lot here. First guy who did would be Ryan Howard right there, who was our leader. He's 32 seconds back, so he's definitely going to cycle back around once everybody does pit in front of him. Eric Arnold's the only one who pitted maybe close at lap 40. Mike Kelly pitted at lap 35. Shannon Woods at lap 10. I know Shannon now's coming on pit road. But I'm kind of curious on what Parker's doing here. Yep. I think he gave up too much time, and right there is pretty much just done in whatever he gained on the track, he just gave up a lot of right there. So any strategy that he had, I'm not going to say he's out the window, but boy, right there by that little mishap, and I say it week in and week out a lot of times, mental mistakes. Coming in and off pit road, getting into your pit box. Mental mistakes right there, you can see it. It can cost you. It happens in real racing too, and that's just going to be a huge blow because you're talking about a lot of time. Let's try to decipher what is time. Total time. A lot of these guys are getting off total time of 50 to 52. Josh Parker's time is a 54, so yes, he lost some time that he did not want to lose coming in and off pit road there. Eric Arnold now is our new leader out front along with Mike Kelly. Now remember, Eric pitted at lap 4. Mike pitted at lap 35. There's only a 3-second gap back from Ryan Howard, who pitted at lap 53. Definitely can make it the entire way there in that Kit Kat machines. He's by Mike Kelly. That's just new tires versus old tires right there. And not taking nothing away from Ryan either, though. He's fast. He got fast cars. I definitely won't take nothing away from him. He's bringing Jose with him. Speedy. Man, folks, don't count out old Speedy Gonzalez right there. And he's got Speedy on the hood. I love it. And he's got him on the side, too. Now, I saw Jose one time. I told him, I said, Speedy Gonzalez. I asked him if he was offended by that, by the way, and he said, so, Lord, we're just going to clear that one up already since we're in that time of day, or time and age, or whatever. But he said that is kind of cool because Jose Gonzalez definitely, man, is a speedster on the track. He is fast. One of the guys, man, that he has some up and down times. I like him because he's down in I hope I remember right there, down in the Jamaican area. He actually has his own food truck, folks. So if you're down there, Jamaican, Bahama area, which, hey, he's in probably one of the best parts of the world. That's kind of cool. But he has his own food truck. Not only does he fast on the track, speedy on the track, he's speedy when he can get you a meatball sandwich too. So, Jose Gonzalez. Right now, he's holding on to the third place spot, riding in the tire tracks of Ryan Howard. He's looking to maybe get up there and going out. Daniel Falkenham, remember early on, punched the wall a little bit. Like he might have got some of that fixed on the car. He's looking pretty fast. Got E.J. O'Rourke right there running along with Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly's just dropping off because of those older tires out front. Eric Arnold, remember, pitted on lap 44 to Ryan Howard's 53. Eric ran a 44.06 to a 43.33 of Ryan. Now let's give you a recap on what Josh Parker's out here running. He's running 42.9s. Josh is going to have to make up some ground. He's back in 19th. The problem is, the more he goes, those tires are going to kind of just fall off the pace just a little. Are you back, Alex?
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. I guess I got that Toaster 2000 Wi-Fi going on right now. It's been in and out the last couple minutes, and hopefully I'm giving it a little break right now. I'm on hotspot right now off of my phone, so that's what my laptop's running off of. So hopefully, you don't give me too much trouble and we can finish out this race, man. What I missed, though?
A lot of green flag pit stops. I was going over what maybe some of the strategy out here was. We got Eric Arnold, obviously leading, excuse me, right now. He pitted at lap 53. Or you see Ryan Howard just take the lead over because Ryan pitted at lap 53. Obviously, so he's on those newer set of tires, and that just makes all the difference. You see, Gonzalez pitted at lap 52s. Most guys pitted around 52, 53, 54. So the only one that didn't, that stayed out really, really long, was Josh Parker. Strategy. Pitted at lap 60, so he stayed out there a solid almost 8 laps different than one of the front runners. And I know the mindset behind that gives him better tires at the end of the run. But again, I got to take it back to this place is so hard to pass, so hard to catch up with. He's given up a substantial amount of time, almost 13 seconds back. And time-wise, Ryan ran a 42.39. Josh ran 43.39 is what Ryan ran. Josh ran a 15. So you can see those new tires, and like I said before, hard in traffic, sometimes those new tires don't always equal the fastest on the track after a while. So I don't know what part, strategy wise, by staying out as long as he did, maybe caution, but I think this one here might bite him in the long run, because as the run goes on, I think those tires are just going to equal.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it looks like things are coming back on for me on the... Okay, maybe I was a little too quick to jump the gun on that, as I just got a couple notifications, so it looks like it's working on my iPad. Hold on, let's see what she's got running for me. But I'll leave the computer on the hotspot right now, make sure that all that jazz is going, because I was in the middle of saying something, then I was like, oh, everything froze. Where'd I go?
Happens.
And then it disappeared.
We talk about it all the time. Bobs and stuff. But right now, it's been a good, solid race, just like what we was talking about before. I mean, these guys out here on the long, good green flag run. You see Eric Arnold right there in third. The problem is he pitted at lap 44. A lot of the guys around him there pitted at 50 tires. You're just going to... Maybe the difference there. We'll see if Robert Gillenwater is able to get around him. I say that those tires should get around Eric, but can hold them off. A lot of times, man, those tires will just kind of fall off. You see Mike Kelly right there. Now, Mike Kelly down. He's definitely on a lot newer tires than those guys. Fast. Robert along with him. Robert's going to move up into the third place spot, put Eric back in the fourth. He's going to hang on to the fifth place. Daniel Falkenham, remember early on, tapped the wall. Still up there in sixth, and you can see that damage on the back end. He had a bad fast car earlier, but this track is very, very aero dependent. Any little bit of damage, and it can definitely slow you down.
Yeah, it absolutely can. And I'm kind of looking right here, and you got your friend Jose right there, number 2, Jose Gonzalez, who you like to call Speedy Gonzalez.
Speedy, yeah, and he's got it all over. We were just talking about old Jose a minute ago, and where he's from and all that. He's down in the Jamaican area, and he actually does like...
Well, that's legit.
I know. I said, so in other words, not only is he speedy on the track, he's speedy when Paul Sam was there too. So Jose, a good guy, man. Enjoy talking to him when I can. EJ's moving it up to fourth around Eric, so there's those tires there. So kind of interested on what Josh can do. He's up to 15 still, but you can just see the lap times. He's running 43.25 to 43. He's a little faster, but in order to make up 11-second gap, he's still got a lot of cars to pass. Time's winding out. Time's not on his side. I would, even if there was a caution, and you got to throw this out, I think that's the last thing that Parker wants to see because of one reason. If there's a caution, everybody's coming in for tires. Got a set left. So there you go. It's going to mar him back in traffic still. And plus, that way everybody's going to be on equal tires. And possible, but be very hard feat to come through the field then.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the tire fall off. Yeah, it looks like everything's running pretty good over here with the Wi-Fi, but like I said, I'll just leave this on the hotspot just in case. The modem's got that nice looking clear light on. It just started flashing yellow on me, and that's when I knew. I was like, uh-oh, that's no bueno, but it looks like we're good. And
Randy Yoakum, it looked like Randy Yoakum crashed, no caution. You know, this is one of these tracks, if you get far enough off, and again, just got tight out of the turn, went there, and this is one of these tracks that has a runoff so far. Them so far off the track, iRacing will not throw a caution when you're that track. One of them, and a few of the big tracks like that, if you run so far off of it, definitely won't throw the caution. You're off the racetrack. You're off. Still under green flag here. Decent. Campbell there. Jimmy Coleman. Good run up to 11th place.
Yeah, we got a nice. I believe this is a battle going on right here. I don't know because I obviously missed that.
Jimmy Coleman's in 11th. Got Tommy Ryan right there in the yellow and black machine. Hugh was right behind him. Yeah, so that's a lap car right there in front of him, that 68 machine.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure because obviously I missed that whole green flag pit stop cycle, so everything is mumbo jumboed for me now. Based off where I let off.
Been a good one so far, like we've talked about before here. Was out to long green flag. By one. Got a very uphill battle. Still 9.5 seconds back, so he only picked up maybe about 5/10 there. Last, couple laps or so, with 25 to go here tonight at Auto Club for the Ford Group Xfinity Series here for the Sim500. We got Ryan Howard out front, back up front there. Jose Gonzalez running right behind him. Who can run down Ryan? Ryan's night tonight.
Yeah, definitely could be. And I mean, he's got that nice Kit Kat machine, so who knows what he's got in store. I mean, Kit Kat, one of my personal favorite candies, along with the everlasting gobstoppers, excuse me. Obviously, Willy Wonka and those gobstoppers always get me. So,
I like Kit Kats now. I'm a Reese's fan.
Yeah, so is Kayla. She loves those Reese's. I can never turn down a good Reese's though. So I'm right there with you because I mean it a perfect combo. But anyways,
don't want to get too far off what we got.
Yeah, before we stray too far away.
My wife is from PA, and obviously she's around the Reading area, which is not too far away from where her Reese's and our manufacturers, obviously Mars and Snickers, and then factored up that way too. But they have what they call the candy shop there, along with Hershey Park. and you can go into the candy store. And I'm going to tell you, for some reason, the Reese's up there taste different. They just taste fresher, and I guess it's because to me, maybe it's a psychological thing. I don't know, but anyways, good race. And hey, now that we made everybody hungry out there, wants to go get something to eat on the track, why not go get you something? Because it's a good run so far for Ryan Howard out front. He's definitely going to snap into one of those if he wins this race tonight. Celebrate a little bit. Timothy Johnson hanging on to 7, Glenn Campbell there in 8, Jimmy Coleman 8th, and Chris Jaboo right there in the 10th place. I said, never mind, Josh Parker sneaks in the 10th place.
Yeah, as we got these battles going on, I mean, the field is a little stretched out, but that was kind of anticipated here with how this kind of race has been running this evening with those long green flag runs and those green flag pit stops. I expected some stretched outedness, whether those are words or not. Everyone gets the message, you know. Yeah.
Now,
we usually try to make up a new one every time.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you a question now. You want to do some math here real quick? We're talking about Josh Parker. Got about, 20 laps to go. Howard right now has a 8 second lead. Josh ran a 43.79 to a 40.
What was that second one?
44.25. So about what, 4 tenths difference roughly?
Yeah, it's almost, you're closing in on half a second difference right there, faster in favor of Josh Parker right here, sitting in ninth, who we're looking at right now.
Now my question, does he have enough time at 7.3 seconds back to catch Ryan, and not only to catch him, pass him, because the old saying, you can catch him, but passing him's too different. Or will time just run out here because with 19 to go? I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Yeah, basing off of that math right there, I'd say it would take him about, if they keep this pace. Obviously, it's if they keep this pace going on right here. I'd say about 0.4. We'll give him 0.4 seconds in favor of Josh Parker a lap. I would say it would take him maybe 14 laps from now.
Close, Dan.
Yeah, it's going to be super close.
They'll be definitely threading the needle there. Then like the last lap you saw, Ryan ran a 44.8. Josh is 43.96. So with that, no. Because, well, that's not even. But you can see, the fall off, going around cars, catching. And nonetheless, it'll be something we'll keep it interested in. Jose Gonzalez right now, though, is definitely wanting to hold on to that second place spot along with E.J. O'Rourke. Right there in third, he's got a good battle with Kevin Brown. Look at Kevin Brown there beside of him. They're going door to door for the third place spot.
Yeah, and these battles coming, looking around the track based off of kind of what we're fanning through right here, as it looks like Brown wins that for a second. So, as it looks like, who is that? Gillenwater? Is that
Robert
who's there with him?
Yeah, Gillenwater's going to the high side, going to try to take over EJ, and then you've got Timothy Johnson right there behind him.
Yeah, so these guys are battling out for that position, and I mean, you got Josh a little bit behind him, so I mean, I don't think he's going to catch him. Personally, I don't think he's going to do it because he's right there crossing the stripe as these guys are already looking into turn one, so as you can see him back there in that green 18, I personally don't think he can do it. I think he's experiencing that fall off that we were talking about earlier. I think it's going to start coming into effect.
Yeah, and I think it will. Right now, we got a good run about the mid-pack here. David Comstock having a good run here tonight. He's hanging on about 7th place, been kind of quiet. Glenn Campbell right there along with him. The 8th place spot. Josh talking about him. He's in 9th. I think at this point right now, Josh probably realizes he's probably won't catch the leader because the times are just closing between him and Ryan Howard up front. But he definitely very well could get to maybe a top 5 back out of this thing before it's over. Kind of working on it. If he can't pick off that man in front of him there, Glenn Campbell, definitely still some good. Got battle for second. Kevin Brown's on the move.
Yeah, he is, and that's exactly what. So those battles go both ways. So those guys looking to make that position from behind like seeing those battles in front of them just as much as the guy who's in front of this battle looks to create a little bit of space, you know? So maybe that's what can feed into Josh Parker a little bit as we're talking about him pretty frequently right now as he's seeing some of these battles going on in front of him, especially with this second, third, fourth, fifth place or so, maybe up to 6th or 7th right there. These guys are super close, and I'll bring that to the competitiveness of the league. Is Jose looked inside, but it looked like Brown kind of shut the door on him and brought up those two guys into contention right here behind him. So we might have a nice battle going on for second place between these 4 cars here soon.
Look out. And I'm going to tell you, Kevin Brown's time-wise on Ryan Howard, last couple laps have been faster. Now, obviously, the last lap wasn't because he was battling there with Jose. But before that, he was closing, and he's only right at 3-second gap between Ryan. If he can get, back on the groove like he was, maybe pulling up. Remember, he's got about 2 or 3 lap newer tires than Ryan. That might help long run. We'll have to see. Again, Ryan might be too far out for him to even have a shot to catch him. Caution to throw everything in the air. They definitely got that. That can happen, but you got Hose. Work right down the back bumper of those guys. Some of these guys been kind of single file. It's all Ryan Howard though out front though.
Yeah, it is, and he's just been leaving these guys back in the dust. As you can see him up there in the distance from this viewpoint right here through the turn. You can see him just kind of floating up there. He's kind of trying to, if I were him, I'd try to keep my lap times as consistent as possible and make these guys fight for it and burn up those tires, burn up that fuel. I mean, we didn't think fuel would be too much of a factor here this evening because, like you said, we're at about 100% or so, right?
Yep.
So maybe use up those tires a little bit with some of these battles going on, but who knows? Maybe Kevin Brown right here has got something for him that he's been holding off.
I had a chuckle a minute because these two guys right here racing each other. EJ and Jose, they know each other quite well, and sometimes when they get together, excuse me about that, folks. Sometimes when they get together on track, disaster sometimes can happen. I mean, these guys, they race really hard with each other. You see EJ trying to see if he can't get around Jose. Looking. Down old Tim out right there. Actually, that's a good move, steal it up in there, but right now he's lurking. He wants that 3rd place spot.
Yeah, he does, and he's looking on the outside now as it looks like, but now he dives on the inside as Jose was kind of trying to take that inside, but now you got these guys. I mean, these guys are battling pretty good. I love seeing these kind of battles going on and multi-lap battles, and that's just exciting racing to see. Is it looks like Josh Parker is closing in a little bit, looking there towards that back of that little group we got going on, but we'll leave that for if when that happens. But these guys got a nice battle going on for that 3rd place position. It don't look like they're gonna, I don't know, maybe like you said, disaster might strike. Who knows? These guys
EJ
are
was able to make the pass clean there on him, but Jose made it a little bit tough on him there. I tried to hold him off. Right behind him, you got Timothy. Pass closed in. We told you to watch out as those guys were battling. So Tim up, Robert Gillen Waters there, David Stock in the mix. right there in 8th. He's looking to see if he can't crack the top 5. I think he understands, hopes to win here. And I think he just stayed out there a little bit too long on that pit stop, as right now it's all Ryan Howard out front. The Kit Kat machine looking good. He's got maintaining a 2.93 second lead over Kevin Brown. Those two guys have been within anywhere between 1,000th to 2,000ths of each other all his last several laps right now. Jay, I know EJ's going to be happy with a 3rd place. I know he would like to win, but he's just had such an up and down season so far, and the last season was just that I know coming in here and taking this 3rd place home, he's definitely going to love it.
Yeah, and looking at some of these guys and watching how they're racing, it looks like Jose's fallen off a little bit compared to EJ right there. He's dealing with Johnston a little bit, as some of these guys are moving up trying to crack that position. But like you said, it looks like it is just Ryan Howard's race to finish now, as we come with 7 laps to go, as these guys are still trying to battle it out for this top 5, top 3 position kind of going on here. So these guys have been doing a great job all night of keeping it pretty clean. And I always like to see that nice, clean racing, very disciplined racing. I like that word disciplined as well. And unfortunately, I missed the part where I could really dive into the chess match part, and because I got that
chess match going on here. I mean, because of the long green flag. Really the biggest chess match is out the longest. Now we saw Josh Parker staying out the longest, which when I was watching it, I thought probably staying out too long, because I just know the tendency of the track position is key, and but you probably would have needed a caution or something to happen in order to get up there. But nonetheless, it's all Kevin Brown right there in 2nd. Ryan Howard with a battle for 3rd. Timothy Johnson, now he's on a little bit newer tires than what EJ is, about 3 laps newer. So, he was able to make that pass on EJ. Look pretty.
Yeah, and the tire fall off at these kind of tracks this is why I kind of envision this as more of a 1.5-mile-esque kind of track, that's exactly what I was talking about when my Toaster 2000 internet cut out. But anyways, that tire fall off can make a worlds of a difference here at these kind of racetracks, as you were saying how Johnson was making that pass look pretty easy. So I don't want to call it easy, but he just made a nice.
It's new tires versus old tires. That's how I always put it when they do it, because they don't want to take anything away from it. And just to add on to what you're talking about on the track too, I got to bring up that the tire limit thing, and obviously guys with pit strategies, you love bringing up the chess matches. I'm stocked down. He pitted at lap 53 up there, and Josh Parker, I said he's one of the top 5. Now he's on the newest set of tires of all these. He should be able to make short work with a lot of these guys here. Parker should, because he's on about 7, 8 laps, and that's what I was about to allude to. Is a track like this, in the long run, track position is very key, because the tires pretty much fall off kind of equal throughout. The problem where you run into is guys like Parker, who pitted 8 to 7 laps older, and now we're on 8 to 7 laps newer tires. You see faster than these guys are, and it just makes him look like he's mile an hour quicker than these guys on the track. That's what it helps. Instead, Parker right now, he's in 4th place. He's looking to maybe crack the top 3 here. I just still don't think he's got enough time to run down Ryan Howard. 4.5 seconds back. Yeah, I just don't think he's got enough time to do it.
Nah, he's made up a world's amount of ground though, but Looks like these last 2 laps he'll be battling here with Comstock for that 3rd place.
Oh, and you know David's going to make that rear end wide here on this track to try to hold on to that 3rd place, because with the white flag about to fly one more time for Ryan Howard here as they come out of turn 3 and 4 down the bad stretch here. Josh Parker, though, that's the heavy battle is happening right here for 3rd.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was saying, he's made a world of a cut into that lead that he had. He was sitting at what, 7-something seconds, I think, when we talked about it at lap 18 to go or 19 to go or something like that. But he's had to deal with passing cars, and now he's got this last lap right here to pass Comstock. See what he can do coming in through. About to dive into 1 and 2 for that 3rd place spot right here.
Right now, as we see the white flags, they are actually chasing down old Kevin Brown right there in front of him, David Comstock. Is you can see just how much, even though he's on way newer tires. But Josh Parker, even with the newer tires, you can just see how hard it pass at this place and how much the fall off is. But turn 3 and 4, Ryan Howard's going to drive it into home, and Parker's going to use every bit he's got to try to take 3rd as they come out of turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. David Comstock's going to hold him off, but Ryan Howard's going to put it in victory lane. Kevin Brown's going to come home in 2nd. Josh tried to do what he could do out there, but man, what a race here tonight at Auto Club.
Yeah, and a pretty dominant race here by Ryan. I mean, he was running up front, and then obviously, as we all know, I cut out a little bit, and for, I don't even know how long I was gone, maybe 15, 20 laps or something like that, because it took me a while to figure that out. But he did a great job of, obviously I missed the green flag pit cycles, but I don't know what happened with that, but he kept maintaining that nice 3+-ish second lead over that 2nd place spot, securing that win for himself this evening here at Auto Club. So he's going to do a nice little burnout here, looks like, in that kick-at machine. So here he goes.
Burn them down, folks. And I tell you what, a good win there for Ryan Howard. As we'll wait to see if we can get a couple of these guys up here and get a word in with them. What a fantastic race it was here. I love it, man, as these guys put on a good show here at the Sim500. I move them when they're in the waiting room, but I can't. Got Kevin Brown, 2nd place man here. We'll bring him up and let you get a word with him.
Hey, Kevin, it's Alex up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, so pretty strong finish there at the end of the race, man. Unfortunately, I cut out a little bit because of some internet issues, but anyways, super strong finish there at the end for that P2 spot. How you feeling coming out of this race here at Auto Club Speedway this evening, man?
Honestly, feeling pretty good. I wasn't expecting to do this well. I knew the car was pretty tight in the long run, and we don't do too well about saving tires, but surprisingly, we did really well there with saving the tires. I wish I had a couple more laps. I might have been able to catch Ryan, but he was just so fast. It was hard.
Yeah, he was quick, man, and I know Joe knows you guys pretty well, and I'm relatively new to this league. I mean, this is my 3rd race up here with Joe for this league, and awesome to see the level of competitiveness and how good you guys are at this, and it's just a great thing for me to see. So hats off to you for that, and congratulations on your 2nd place finish, man. So anybody you want to give a quick shout out to, thank for this race here and a very strong finish this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Chris Gaboo for painting my paint schemes as always. Makes beautiful paint schemes. If you need anything done, go to him. Sim500, my guys at Brown Eye Motorsports. You guys are putting on a show, and yeah, appreciate it.
Awesome, man. And I'll hit it over to Joe for a second if he wants to chime in.
Right,
like Kevin. I said, I missed a little bit, and
Hey, Kevin, look, you got to tell Chris we want Twinkie back. We want the Twinkie machine. That's something. I was telling Alex about that. I remember it so well with the hashtag Twinkie out there. So, but good run, man, coming home in second tonight.
Appreciate it. I definitely, if we have a throwback race, I might have to bring it back for one night.
There you go. Definitely. I tell you what, it's always a good run.
Appreciate it, guys.
Kevin Brown, and we'll wait to see if some of the other guys will jump up here. Again, if anybody's out there listening, I cannot move David. So, Dave. If you want to get talked to, that is. All right, we're going to cut it. Catch you on another night. but nonetheless, Alex, man, I kind of what we figured here at the track like Auto Club. A couple cautions early on, but for the most part, a lot of green flag racing, and you saw a lot of the green flag pit stops there. And track position was king here tonight.
Yeah, it was, and like you said, that's kind of what we were expecting here. Had a couple cautions right there, right at the beginning. I think we had 2 within the first 15 laps or so, and then pretty much after that, it was running very smoothly from what I saw, and that's what was expected. So, and that's always nice to see here at these kind of tracks. So, congratulations to Ryan up there. Ryan, if you're listening, we'd like to get a word with you up here. But anyways,
well, he's down there in the waiting room and bring him up here winner tonight here. Ryan Howard, Joe the booth guy.
I got you, Joe.
Well, man, Ryan, I tell you what, you out there, man. You definitely wasn't giving anybody a break tonight with that Kit Kat machine. You were bad fast out front, and once you got out there, it was sailing. How was you feeling about this track?
My heart's pumping after that one, man. It's a great win for us. It's my birthday tomorrow, so that's awesome. I didn't know what the race to start. We had a couple quick cautions, and then that was a great run at the end there. I knew once I could kind of hang with Falkingham on that second run that we might have something for him, and he burned up his stuff more than I thought he would, and we ended up passing him before the green flag stops there, and it just we were able to stretch it, save a little bit of fuel under caution with those 2 early yellows, and we were able to stretch it to the 50 lap mark, or about 49 to be exact. So we were about two to a lap and a half good to the green there good to the go on gas. So that didn't come into the equation. We were out there smooth sailing, but man, that's a great win for us. It's awesome to get that one out of the way quick.
Absolutely. Always a good one to get one under your belt early on in the seasons. That way you can kind of just work on some stuff, but definitely fast here tonight at Auto Club. Man, you got anybody you want to thank for a great win?
Yes, always Sim500, Joey, Randy, all the guys that put on the show. We got FEG as a sponsor back this year. Got a new sponsor. Actually, I'm doing a little throwback to the NASCAR 2003 days with the Kit Kat sponsorship, and so man, I'm excited. That's an awesome win. I appreciate you guys doing. I'm gonna obviously go back and watch the replay win, of course. So man, just hopefully that bodes well for the rest of our season. We can stack up a few wins. I think we deserve it. I think we've been running really good here, and it's so hard to win every week or even run top 5. So getting a win, even if we don't get any more soon, hopefully we get a couple more throughout the year, and we got that one under our belt. So that's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Tell you what, like I said, you got the one win. No, you want many more, but they always say consistency wins championships. So go out there, and that's the next step, is try to get yourself into there. And got a long season left ahead. But again, congratulations on tonight for the win.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. Have a good one.
There we go. Ryan Howard putting it in victory lane, and David there. But I tell you what, we'll get up with David Comstock, maybe word with him. We're going to leave out here, folks, for myself and everyone here at the Sim500. Hope you enjoyed it, and everyone have a good Sunday night. Have a good one.